Hi, this is Dr. Manuel Rich. So I decided to make a video concerning my experience during my preparatory period when I was preparing to write my Saudi licensing exam, how I scheduled my reading plan, how I approached the exam, how I prepared, and what I did. So initially, when I knew that I was going to come to Saudi Arabia, what I did was to ask for past questions to look at how the exams are scheduled. Then, when I got the past questions, I went through it. Some were very simple, some were also very complex. So, and the next thing I did was to get the blueprint. So, when I looked at the blueprint, I looked at the content of what they are looking at: ocular anatomy and physiology, binocular vision, refraction, contact lens, ocular diseases, pediatric optometry, geriatric optometry, and low vision. So when I looked at all this, now I was, I knew my strengths and I knew my weaknesses. And when I looked at the questions, I saw some contact lens questions that are simple and some that were very complex. I looked at binocular vision. I saw some that were very complex and some that are very simple. You must be prepared. And the only way to be prepared is to look at the past questions and go deep into the textbook and read everything you need to know about it. So the way I started was I had to read from beginning to the end, from the known to the unknown. That's what I decided to do. So I now drafted what I should do, how I should approach it. So what I did was first, I said I would start from the eyelid. So I read everything concerning the eyelid, and I went into the tears and the lacrimal apparatus. After reading about it and the pathological conditions that associated or associates with lacrimal apparatus, I went into conjunctiva. I read different anatomical structures, content, pathology, physiology. Then I went into the sclera. After sclera, I moved to ocular, extraocular muscles. Then after that, I went to the innervations of extraocular muscles. After reading about it and how extraocular muscles are being controlled, the nerve that controls each of the movements and all those things. Then I went into the cornea. After reading about the cornea, I moved to aqueous humor. After reading the aqueous humor, I moved to the iris. I read everything about the iris, both the structure, the innervations, pathology, physiology. Then after the iris, I moved into crystalline lens. I read everything about crystalline lens. Then move into the ciliary body. Move after ciliary body. I also touched the choroid. Read about the choroidal vessels and the choroidal drainage system and all those things. Then I moved into retinal anatomy. So the contents of the retina, the different layers of retinal nerves. Now, after that, I went into the optic nerve proper. I read everything about the visual pathway, both the pathology, the physiology, the visual field defects that's associated with each part of the visual pathway. So after that, now you saw how I started from the outer. I kept going deep, 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 deep. And that was how I approached it. Now, what the benefit of this is that when you approach it this way, you will find out that you've covered a lot of geriatric and pediatric optometry. You've covered a lot of ocular diseases and ocular physiology and anatomy. Because when you are reading about the pathological case of that concerns lacrimal apparatus, you actually most of those pathological cases occurs in children or adult or elderly patients. So most of the questions they ask when they want to ask pathological questions concerning children, which is pediatrics or geriatrics. So when you approach it this way, you will find out that you're already touching three of the features that is contained on the blueprint. Now, after this, I moved into refraction. I went into a lot of different things about refraction. After that, I went into lens theory. From lens theory, I went into contact lens. I do well into contact lens, the calculations over refraction. Don't joke with over refraction. Make sure that you understand over refraction very well. Contact lens solutions, contact lens associated cornea defects, and so on. So then went into contact lens calculations, toric, transposition, and all that. So after that, I went into color vision, just briefly color vision, just understand what is happening. Then binocular vision is another big part, which requires a lot of reading, a lot of calculations. Then low vision. Low vision is there, but yeah, you need to also go deep. Then after low vision, a little of ocular pharmacology. And that was how I approached it. So subsequently, I will bring in, maybe I'll pick one of these parts, especially when it concerns refraction and contact lens and some of the geriatrics and pediatrics questions, and analyze it and also explain to you what you need to know. So this is how I approached it. I believe that this will also help someone if you can approach your own reading and structure it like this. Start from the outer, then start going deep, deep, deep. Make sure you read in parts and understand every part of the eye. So it will help you to be well grounded. And when you start seeing your past questions again, you'll be able to approach it with a very well developed background. So thank you.